Hi guys, welcome back. We were gone for a little bit, but we needed the refresher.
We had a little spring break.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
missed you.
We did
It
I
feels
did
weird. It's like a week is like so long. Like I didn't realize how like long of a week is. Maybe when
Mhm.
like went back to internship yesterday, I'm just like, damn, I haven't been here in so long. Like I forgot the password to the laptop. And I was like, what is this? But it's like a week was just it's long. It's long when you're just like focusing on yourself and not really caring for anything. It's like where you're just not doing anything at all other than working, right? And like mind you only went to work once that week too. So it's like my week felt like even extra long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just going to the gym, waking up, going to the gym. That's literally what my routine was, waking up, going to the gym.
I had my week is gonna look kind of like my week last week because next week we're like for my class, we're just meeting with her. So I'm like, it's kind of crazy. And today,
You gotten grades back?
no, we haven't gotten anything back. I
Oh,
don't think she's looked at any of her stuff yet. But we did like opening and closing today. And then
so you should be getting your grades back, like from her.
it's all the drafts. Like we haven't had any meetings with her yet. So it's like this is our first one. But I really want her comments on stuff just so I can feel more organized. But
Mm-hmm. But you
today,
still have April too. You're getting it back. But I'm pretty sure we did. I think yeah, after your meeting, you're probably gonna have get your grades back from her at some point, like on your drafts, basically.
yeah, no, I really I want to hear what she has to say, but um to switch things up, what did you do today?
So I had jury duty or whatever.
Oh yeah.
The thing is, I could have called. So supposed to use like on the back of the ticket, you're supposed to like call that number a day prior or like a couple days prior to see if you're reporting or not, right? Mind you, I woke up at 5:45, butt crack in the morning, dark as hell outside. For me to get there around like 7 something to get called up around 8 saying that you have to come in. I'm like, you little bitch. I mean, it's not your fault because it's my fault too for not reading the ticket. Like it literally says, like it's in my purse that I have. It says to see if you're required to report, please call this number between 5 p.m. and midnight, one business day prior to the date that you are scheduled to appear. And so since I didn't call that number, a majority of us didn't what's it called? Weren't scheduled for that day. Like people it was like we were like all in line. Like some
Hmm.
of the jurors who got this too, and they didn't have to be but I forgot what she said. Like they'll let us know in 2 weeks or so.
Oh,
But I think it's just like that. Like I have to report today because I'm pretty sure there was no one else there, like besides us. Like, and you can kind of like, well, I don't know, I don't know. But I didn't. I woke up early morning for no reason. Could have slept in. But after that, I did take a little nap before my meeting with my teacher, and then after I did go to the gym right after. No, seen cafe though.
oh wow.
He's linking this right towards me.
Yeah, he
He's
said
link-
I'm getting up the list. I'm being promoted.
no, he goes like, and it's just like it's that thing where we're just like he's coming on full force. He is for sure. It's like at some point I know we're gonna cross paths, you know what I mean? But it's like he's coming on like full force. And it's like my fault too. And it's like I see myself doing it again, where it's just like I have a problem with staring, right? Where it's just like it's like I would I'm gonna stare at you if you look good, you know what I mean? It's like I'm gonna stare at you, right?
Hmm.
Obviously I'm also gonna look good too, so they're gonna stare back, it's just inevitable for them, right? But it's just like because I'm staring right and they're staring back at someone who else is pretty, you know what I mean? So it's like but like I'm doing this with people who I think are pretty. Most people at my gym are pretty. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm giving off false connection with a lot of people. You know what I mean? So it's like So it's like that's my fault. That's my fault. But top three. But it was earlier. I came into the gym a little bit late today. I was just too tired. But I came to the gym a little bit late today, and that's when I seen him. Right. That's where I knew it was full force. Right. So it's like usually like before my workout, I like to go in this little area where I can just like stretch it out, basically. Right. I'm working upper body, then we'll stretch like my arms and whatnot. Right. And so it's kind of like this time was like super crowded. Like it was hella crowded in that area, right? It's like people in like mind you, it's not a big area too. There's also like machinery around it too. So you kind of have to like squeeze in or just like be in the most like weirdest place ever, like be in the most open spot ever. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Just like crowded in that little area. And so it's like I like got there before anyone else, before it became like crowded. So I was there, right? Mind you, it's like I went to the bathroom, I seen him. When I first got in, I seen him right now. I know he seen me too. Right? I didn't put makeup on too. This I had like not this, but I had makeup on earlier too. So it's like I looked fucking good, you know? And that's when I seen him. When I was working out, that's when he came. And like I was just like, oh, you're here. You know what I mean? So it's like I knew he was towards the end of his workout because like whenever he's like in that section, right? It's like he's working on abs and then he's going to be going into stretching, right? And his stretching is pretty like, it takes a long time too, because I've seen it before, whatever. And then that's when so it's like I'm over there stretching, right? There's this one random guy next to me who's like, there's like a gap between this person and this other person, but it's like no one wants to be next to him. I wouldn't mind it because I felt like it was just stinky in that area. That's where there's like another spot right there, and like, I remember it was like mind you, it's like just like this gap right there where he could have been like on opposite side of the other guy that was next to, right? It was like me here, random guy, empty space, stinky guy, right? And so he wasn't. And mind you, the other spot where it's like, so mind you, so he was I forgot what he was doing. I think he was doing something in the corner over there, but I guess like that spot wasn't working out for him. But it's like he was with his barbells, and mind you, straight looking at me because I can put someone looking at me. And it was like straight looking at me. So it's like I'm just like the my stretch is focusing on this. Like I'm just like I can't, you know what I mean? Because it's like I'm not gonna give no, because mainly because like since we did change and he's number two on the list, right? Two on the list, you know what I mean? But anyways, and so that's when he moves, right? Mind you, I'm right here. I'm right here. He moves all the way. I'm right here. There's like a little nook right here by the like where the staff only room, right? He moves literally right there. I'm just like, it was like when he's getting his mat and whatnot, I make sure to head out before. I'm just like, I cannot be this close to you right now. I just cannot be this close to you. I cut my workout short. I'm just like, this is a little too close for me right now. It's a little too close right now because it's like I'm just like, oh, you're coming on strong. You're coming on a little too strong. Kind of workout and stretch right in front of me like that. You got some nerve. So I headed out right beforehand, and after I just didn't see him. But it's like it's because it's that thing where it's like if he's stretching whatever, it's like obvious eye contact. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I was ready for that. You know, I don't know if I was like ready to initiate that step. You know, because it's like I'm still testing my water with gray shorts guy, right? But it's
Hmm.
like now that I know like he's like taking it full step, and like he's like. I'm gonna make sure she sees me now. I'm gonna make sure that I get bumped up. It's kind of like he knew that he already got bumped up from 3 to 2. You know what I mean? So now he's gonna get bumped up from 2 to 1. It's like calm your horses, calm your horses, calm your horses. But I didn't see gray shorts bang, and I was just like Ginger Bay, you're in the back of my head now. So I'm pretty sure he was probably there because it's like after spring break. I'm pretty sure he was probably there like around like 1 something or whatever. All right, like early in the morning. I could have gone, but I didn't want to. And I'm just like, I'm testing my water with my other base. You know what I mean? I gotta give them all a chance. I gotta give them all a chance. I just can't like solely focus on you because you're cute or whatever. Like they're all cute too. And it's like I barely see Ginger Bay, so it's like, and I see them more. But I didn't see that guy, gray shorts today, which makes sense kind of. I'm just like usually when I put in my head, I'm just like usually when I do see him, like I'm usually working on my legs. So it's like possibly tomorrow I'll see him like after work or something. So it's like I'm usually working on like my glutes or whatever whenever I do see him. So maybe tomorrow, but I'm not working glutes tomorrow. I mean, I'm still going to the gym tomorrow, but I'm not working on glutes. So it's either tomorrow or Thursday I'll see him because that's when I work on glutes. Tomorrow I'm just do cardio, but that's my thing. I spread it out. So now it's gray shorts, calf bay, and then ginger bay. Ginger bay, you got deducted. We don't want you no more.
You know.
What you
It's
do?
yeah. So, I'm I'm just like playing that in my head of like my roles. I'm like, yeah, it has changed a bit. But so today I went to class, um, and I had a little extra bowl. Like I had a poke bowl, but I got like extra meat, and then I added red cabbage. Like I made it kind of healthier than I usually. It's already healthy, but it's like
Right.
even more. Hmm?
You know, saying right, it's already like healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what they serve, so I
Well,
don't
it's
know what
like it's raw fish, other than the shrimp and like tofu. But like you have all the vegetables.
you get.
We saw. I get what do I get? I get salmon, and then I get spicy salmon, and then I get shrimp.
So you get raw. You like raw salmon?
It's good. It's like sushi. It's literally sushi, but it's like Hawaiian. Hawaii.
That's what I haven't had yet. Was to try like raw. That's probably like my next thing. Like right now, like not to get you off, but like right now for my new obsession, boiled eggs, right? So maybe that can be a thing with some trying new sushi.
Yeah.
I just don't like the texture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The whole
I
bugs
think
in the mouth.
once you get over that, it won't be too bad. But
That's
yeah,
why it wasn't me with the boiled eggs. I didn't like the texture of the yolk because it was just like so. What?
you're like holding it in your cheeks.
It was just like so like it was just like the white egg white.
Hmm.
It's just like smooth, and then you have like this like sort of like powdery, just like crumbly piece in the middle. I'm just like, ugh, like what is this? You know? So like I didn't like it because of that. But now I'm just like, I gotta be a big girl and put my pants on. But it's like I realized it's just an egg. If I can eat eggs scrambled and I can eat a boiled egg, it's just the
Yeah.
same exact thing. You know what I mean? Like it's not different. It's
Yeah.
just like cooked differently.
Yeah.
But continue.
Um, it was so funny because I was on my way to class, right? And I saw this professor, right? And he was like, "Hey, I thought you graduated." And he's the same professor that I've had like for a lot of my sociology classes, right? And he's the one that I I say I have this tension with, right? And so we're out outside of one of the buildings at our university, um talking, and he was like, "Oh, like what are you gonna do after you graduate?" And he's very like, what's it called, charismatic. So and it's very like informal, like you don't feel like you're, like I can just tell him what's going on or whatever. So I was like, "Yeah, like I think I'm gonna do this." And it was so funny because I was like, I stayed in your head, right? Because he basically says he's teaching this class about like how like I guess like immigrant communities that go overseas help back home, right? And I was talking about my dad. This was like a whole couple months ago, right? And I was like, he was like, "Yeah, I remember when you talked about this about your dad, da 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 da, in the school and blah blah blah," right? And I was like, "You remembered." Ah. But it was one of those things where I'm like, you're one of the notable professors in my head, and I'm one of the notable students in
What are you
your
talking about?
my professor.
What's the name?
Um,
Just give me the Mr. something, the last name.
um,
Professor what?
why am I blanking on his name?
You said he's
Oh,
notable.
Bacher, Professor
I
Bacher.
was like, you just said he was notable.
Yeah, no, I don't know,
What's
but
his
like,
name?
unless you've taken sociology classes, you wouldn't
Yeah.
really know. Yeah, but because that's one of my minors. I've had him for like a few classes now, like over COVID, before COVID, after COVID. So it's like he remembers me, and he was like, "If you need a recommendation, I got you." So, and it was so crazy because I was thinking about like when I usually go to Boston, I get myself a little coffee, and like I just start typing and just catching up on things, right? They like Pinterest because I don't really have much to do. But today I was like, let me apply. So I applied to a job today, job posting on Handshake, and
Oh
then
wow.
I made my whole schedule that I'm gonna do for studying and stuff because like I'm gonna take the LSAT really serious. Made a schedule for that, and then driving schedule as well because I'm starting that. So I'm like, let me get my life together. So, and then I guess for it was one of those things I've been like putting off in my head, even though I know I'm gonna do it regardless of how I feel about it. But I was like, let me make all of that. And like I updated my resume to add internship to it. And then yeah, I submitted that application today. So I was like, I felt really good about it.
What
And it
did you
was
apply
crazy
for?
talking about that, huh? It's a legislative assistant or associate, I can't remember. But it's like at a nonprofit. And like the duties and all that, I was like, this matches really well with what we've already been doing, with classes and stuff. So I was like, obviously you're going to be learning a whole new skill set, but like from what I can gauge, I feel like it would be a good position for me. Um, but yeah, and it was so crazy because he mentioned jobs and all of that and gave me another website. That's a good one to search because Handshake is good, but he was like, this is another one that's also good. I think it's called like idealist.org, and you can like filter it and all of that. So I was like, okay. But to catch up on before we talk about what we got up to this weekend, I'll catch you guys up on my gym bays. But basically, I would say front desk bay is like trying to make an appearance. That's how I feel about him. But that's literally me though. Like he's following and I'm like, but on Saturday, he was like going out of his way to be in the areas that I was in. And at first you think it's a coincidence, but I was like, this is not a coincidence because it happened once and twice and then third time. So I was like, this seems suspicious. And then on, I think it was Sunday, like I didn't see any of my other bays. So I was like, today's like a me day. Like we're gonna like get into it. Even though I usually do anyways, but regardless of if they're there or not. But like this past weekend, I was like especially more like stronger, I feel like, with um my sets and like making sure my posture and form was good for every single rep that I did. Um and like also just trying to get out of the mindset of like I have to do exactly like I don't know, like 10 or 15, right? But like giving myself a range to do more if I can.
Yeah.
Um
Three sets till failure. That's what it's called.
exactly. Yeah. So I'm like I'd rather do that than just being like, oh, I did 15 next set. And it's like, no, you
Well,
do
if you
more.
can't do 15, then just go up and wait.
Yeah, that's what I did this week with
Mhm.
the what's it called? Glute medius kickbacks. Like I went up in weight because I was like, this is a piece of cake. Like you can do more, right? So then, and especially they tell you after 2 weeks, like you're gonna be adjusted to that weight. So like,
Right. They also say that you can do it like your first set could be like 12, right? And it's just like at like to like I guess just because there's like different ways to like I think it's called like progressive overload basically, right? On like how to like there's different ways that you can do progressive overload and whatnot, right? Which from I learned is like say if you're finishing a set, right? Then you have like 30, like you want to give yourself at least 30 seconds, right? So it's like 30 seconds, then you begin the next one, right? You don't want to take too long, right? Because it's like, your muscles can get you super adjusted. It's like you want to like keep going, and it's like that's one way, I guess, right? And another one is just like your sets, right? Your first it's like to build muscle, right? And it's like go higher and weights whatever. So it's like say if I'm doing like RDLs, not that one. Say if I'm doing like lat pull downs, right? I stay consistent with that one. Let's say if I'm doing triceps, right? I'll you start like at what like a good like say if I'm 15, right? I'll do 15, three sets of 12, right? 15 weight, right? And then I'll move down 3 sets of 10. Then I'll go up a higher weight. So three sets of 10 at 20 weight, right? And then like my last set, I'll make it so 3 sets of 8, but at 25. So it's like each time I'm going higher and higher in weights, you know what I mean? So like that's another way that you can do it too if you ever like, if you don't want to like add weight, right? Or just like add weight just to keep adding weight. There's different ways that you can kind of like spread it out from what I learned. But I only do it with specific exercises because it's like, imagine me going up. I'm working on it, to be honest. I'm working on it, but continue.
yeah, I'm definitely feeling more comfortable with also getting more weight because I'm like, that's also how you, what's it called?
Build
Like,
muscle.
yeah, building muscle and also knowing that you're like becoming stronger is that you can carry more.
I was doing
But Sunday was funny because like I came out of so like there's in my gym there's like this one room that's like filled with mirrors and you can do any type of like floor workout. Usually they have like classes in there and stuff. But usually when I get there it's pretty much free on Sundays. Like they don't have classes on Sundays at all.
Mhm.
So it was so funny because like there's this one dude, right? Like there's hella space. This whole room you can pick any spot, right? And usually everyone likes to like space themselves out when they go in there, right? Because it's like, personally, you also want some space, right? For whatever you're doing. This man puts his mat right here. And I'm already in the corner because like I wanted to get like because obviously there's a mirror this side, but this side too, because then I can see what I'm like from a different angle, right? But I was just like, I start to my side. And it's so funny because he's doing like these I guess like ab workouts, right? And like I guess I'm changing the song because I didn't like the song, and I just hear very like this extensive movement next to me, but I don't want to like physically. Obviously, he's seeing himself in the mirror, so he's gonna see me looking at him like, what is going on, sir? But yeah, no, this other dude was singing in there. Like, I don't know what was happening on Sunday. But I walk out of there and friend Despe is like walking around, right? And I see him from the corner of my eye, right? And it's crazy because like he never leaves his desk, at least for the time that I've seen him. He never leaves the desk unless it's like he's seeing a friend, but usually they're exiting the same way anyway. So it's like he would see them regardless. But he's going around and it's like in my gym there's so many ways you can walk by the equipment and then get to wherever you want to go, but it was just the way he was walking around, right? We were gonna basically bump past, but my eyes said no, no, no. So I walked through the equipment looking like a crazy person. Well, not crazy person, but it just looked funny because I just see him and I'm like, dart away from you, go around to get to where I need to go to. But yeah, all that to say, he's trying to make himself known. And so I'm like, with that effort in itself, I'm like, you're putting in like you're putting yourself in places. Like how in a sense I was not putting myself in places, but trying to see who I'm trying to see. So he's trying to see me. I'm the trying to see person. The the CE. But yeah. So he's been bumped up to I gave him first place, but it's because I'm like, I don't know. Like I haven't seen Brunette Bay in like I think 2 weekends now.
Oh wow.
But this weekend might be the weekend that I go on a Friday. So we'll see. Um yeah, if I go on Friday, who knows? The roster might change. But then also I did see this one dude. I've seen him 2 weekends now, and he's pretty cute. And like he records himself in the gym and all that. But I don't know. The roster's a little foggy, but we'll give for this week, we'll give Front Desk Spade the first spot because he earned it. Like he's been doing the work. The other and then Ray he earned it. The other two. Brunette Bay will be second just because like I don't know, got a special spot in my heart for you. And then Light Skin Bay, we have not seen him. Is he alive? We don't know. But yeah. Um, but all that to say,
Number twos and number threes, they don't want those positions no more. They probably been watching this podcast and just like, I think she's talking about me. And
right.
I cannot be that person
He's
anymore.
like, wait,
I gotta do better.
They're like, wait, I got demoted? I lost my spot? Yeah, you did. Sucks to suck, but
I gotta act better now.
exactly. But um yeah. We had a very eventful Saturday night. Um, you want to take the honors, Tom, and
I was
start
waiting
the explanation?
I was waiting for you. Basically, we went out this Saturday. It was such a like fun times, and then it's always like starting off like we should just get dinner, right? And it's like we should get drinks afterwards, right? I'm just like, yeah, that's when, like, like our friend like Mina and we're just like, are you drinking? And I'm just like, no, I'm not really drinking. I work the next day, I'm just like, but I'll drink something, but I'm not drinking, you know what I mean? I'm not drinking that hard stuff. And so we went to one of my company's restaurants, delicious food, delicious
Oh
food.
my God, it was good.
Good.
It was good.
Really, really good. Now, I that's one thing too. My new fondest thing, hummus. I've never had hummus before. And so when I tried hummus, it was really good. So love hummus, and like their chicken, could do better. But I get it. But we did that. So that's when, right? We're just
Food
like,
critiques though, because the one thing that they brought out, I forget what it was called, but it was like the spaghetti. It gave spaghetti
oh,
vibe,
that was really
and
bad. You said it gave, who said Chef Boyardee? Was that Mina?
yeah, no, Mina was trying to convince us she liked it so much.
It was not good.
And I was like, okay.
It was not
It just
good. It just tasted like your regular like chicken parm or something,
yeah, and it
but
didn't give
like without the chicken, well, without the parm, and just the chicken didn't even look cooked. It looked like it was like a duck's heart or something. I just could not eat
yeah,
it.
it was pretty dark. Like it just didn't give the vibe. Like I thought it was gonna be a little bit different. It gave like almost like I don't know the type of like
It
rice.
just the chicken looked just scary to me.
Yeah.
And my thing is like I don't like eating what I just don't know, and I didn't know if that was chicken or not. They could be fooling someone, but not me. They could be fooling someone, but not me. I'm not eating that. But after we ate, that's when we're just like, let's go, let's go for drinks or whatever, right? I think it was like they asked if I'm like, am I going? I'm just like, yeah, I will. You know what I mean? I was like, I
Yeah.
can't, FOMO's really big over here. I'll go. You know what I mean? So we ended up going to a bar that was like pretty close. Freezing. It was freezing cold this day too, but I had like a huge ass jacket, so I didn't feel it. And so we get over there,
The whole time.
and there's this fucking
Oh
creep.
my
Like
God.
literally, like when we first got there, it's like just fucking creep. And it's like I felt so bad because like I'm the one that like led the guy to you in a way, right? So I'm just
Oh,
like, I was like, get us a free drink. That's when as soon as I said that, because I think you felt him touching him, felt him touching you. So you turned around immediately after I said that. It's like, I got you. And you started looking, and it was just like, the vibes aren't what we thought it was. You know what I mean? Because it's like from afar,
no.
he wasn't bad looking, and he looked pretty
Yeah.
like
He
he was
didn't
just like on his
like
toes.
exactly like he did not look bad.
He wasn't bad
It
looking.
was
He was
just
like
like
something you could scam.
yeah, it was just
Just like, yeah.
but like it was one of those things where like technically if he was more in probably of a sober state we could have, but like
100%.
immediately when we got in there it was like I guess he said something to me, didn't hear it. You were like, "Oh, he's talking to you," or somebody said he's talking to you, and then I turn around and like I look at
So
him.
all
And
I said was get
her.
us free drinks.
Okay, that
I
okay,
noticed
that
like
makes
I
sense. Because
noticed
he was approaching for my thing.
because he was
That's right, I
approaching, but it's
couldn't
like
see.
you didn't notice that, and I
Yeah,
was just
I
like,
didn't
oh,
see
get us
him.
free drinks. And as soon as I said that, that's when you turned around. And I was
Yeah,
just like,
and then he was like,
girl.
at first he goes, he says it really low, and he's like, "What's your name?" And then I was like, "Huh?" And that's when I was kind of like, "Let me keep walking." Then he was like, "What's your name?" And I was like, "Marie." And
I'm
then
surprised you said your name.
well, some minutes I can think on my feet, right? Like the dude that approached me at my gym. Oh, wait, I don't think I told the podcast this.
Mm-mm.
I definitely like I think because we skipped a week. So it's like I didn't get to say on last Tuesday, but there's a dude that approached me at the gym and like in that moment could think about a name, right? And I said, what did I say? Jennifer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And um, politely told him I had well, I lied. I said I had something going on, which can mean so many different things. But for
Right.
people, you take that as dead, like the situation,
Right.
you know? But he took it as we can't be friends, we can't text. Like, and I was like, no, we can't. And then it was so funny.
No, we
Why you
can't.
cut my style? Like, nobody knows me here yet. It's like that. But
Right. You can't be trying to blame one on. That's one thing too. It's like I don't want to get comfortable with any of them. I don't want people to like think that I'm comfortable with any of them either.
right, no.
Because
Who knows who can pop up tomorrow?
exactly. How many people follow me on Instagram real quick?
But yeah. He was very much out of it. Mina thought, yeah, no, he could not hear Mina's name for the life of him. He
Yes, he was like, "What's your name?" I mean, it was like Mina. He was like, "Meaner."
and we
And
all
we're
are
like,
like saying,
"Mina." He's like,
Mina.
"Meaner,
And
meaner."
I pronounce it. I'm like,
I
Mina.
was like, Mina. He's like, "Oh, Mina." I'm like, "Yes." I forgot Mina's joke. I won't say it here of what she should have said, but I'm not gonna say it. But
You know, it
after that, right? Even after that, so it's like, like obviously, like they're getting like, I think during this time I stepped off to the bathroom, so I don't really know
yeah.
what went on, like even like more weird or whatever. So I step off to the bathroom, so like, you guys tell me what happened, right? I'm just like, okay, we should just get drinks, right? And Amory being our new nut, right? She got us drinks, and so when she's getting us drinks, right? He's right here, like his like mind you, he was with friends too. He was with friends, but I
Yeah,
guess it's
that
not
was
clear enough
beautiful.
about his well being or state. I mean, grown ass men, don't get me wrong, but it's like still. But he, mind you, like when Amory started getting us drinks, like we're waiting for her, like you didn't even realize like he was like so close to the point because it's like I took pictures with with Mina, right? I'm right here sitting on a chair. Mina's right there, and this guy is literally just like we're like side of thought. That's how close he is. I'm like, back up, because right now you smell like banana shit. You know what I mean? Like, back up from me. I'm just like, so I'm just like waiting for the drink to come over here. I'm just like, no, hurry up, because like he was so close. I pull up the camera to take pictures with Mina, right? And he's just like, oh wow, like this guy is literally just trying to like, mind you, I put the camera out like this, right? And this man tried to step in it. I'm like, mm. No, not for you. Not for you. So I'm taking pictures with Mina. And like I'm just trying to like look at the picture too, right? And he's like this. I'm like, okay. So that's when at that point you got this drink and we're drinking. I'm just like, yeah, we're leaving because it's like no way. Like he's so damn close. I just cannot do this right now. We're super awkward, we're super uncomfortable right now. We have to dip and go there. So that's when we went to our other club. I
Our
couldn't say what it was.
favorite go spot. But it was funny though, because like he was definitely he was just too much.
It was just not it. But
But
that's what, even at that club too, we discovered a whole new part of it that we didn't
oh
even
yeah,
know
no, it was
existed.
like they opened a curtain or something because I was like, there was no way that was there. Like it must have been closed off or something when we'd been
Mhm.
there at the
Or
time.
we just don't ever look there because it's like we always get drinks there and always face
Oh yeah,
that way, right? And we never like look towards there.
yeah. But it was musty in there. Like
It
no,
was it was so musty. It was so musty.
no. I was like, I cannot. I know, like obviously everyone's sweating and like people are drinking, blah blah blah. But like it just, I was like, no, we cannot stay in this area. But it was cool to find that spot, which makes sense because I'm like, I'm sure. I was like, they only have this many games, so it's like at least you can see people are playing pool over there as well. But going into Mad Hatter, that was a whole story time in itself.
Right? It was so fun. I had
We had a
a fun
ton of
time.
fun.
Because it's like I've been like in that mood of just like wanting to just like listen to music. You know what I mean? Like listen to music and just like belting my voice out. And I was trying to be a little bit alias with the name, but I just realized you said Mad Hatter, but
Oh,
we try to like gatekeep over here. I'm kidding. But anyways, we were at Mad Hatter, and it's just like Mad Hatter's like type of club where it's like there's like songs that you can for sure like sing out to, right? It's not like just dancing, and it's like not like just like rap songs too. And you can for sure like they'll play like really really random songs sometimes too. Like they'll like play like the theme song of like SpongeBob one time, right? They'll play like Drake and Josh or just like other songs and whatnot from like the old. But it's like these are songs like people all know, and we could all like have fun singing together. I'm just like, my hair is always the vibe for that. You know what I mean? And it's like sometimes you get your occasional, like, like rap music, twerking song, whatever, and you start twerking because it's like it'll be like the most random thing ever. But when it just comes to like just like listening to like old throwbacks, Matt Hatter's the one for sure. It's for sure the one. But we got there, had this fat ass coat. Like it's like I didn't mind the coat outside because it's like kept me warm, right? But inside it was just most like annoying thing ever. Like I did not care if I just threw it up in the air and just forgot about it. And like I was hoping that they'd be in the little corner, the little girls in the corner, like where they have like the little coat and check thingy, check your coats in, but they didn't have it that time. So I'm just like, fuck, you know what I mean? But That's just to get out with the whole carrying it, right? But it was just like me, Mina, and Marie were over there just like dancing away, just like having a good time and whatnot, right? Just like not giving a flick in the world, basically.
You know, definitely was interesting with like the crowd because you never really know what you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I guess it's for sure like a hit or miss
yeah.
at that spot. It's for sure a hit or miss. Like sometimes the people there will just like one of their own thing and just like like not be as welcoming, right? Since we like from what we've experienced there, it was just like dance with other people and whatnot, right? Or like sometimes like the music would just be like just not it either too. Like there'd be like more EDM kind of, right? And just like less of actual songs. We know like people will say EDM is a song, but it's like no, it's not. But anyways, but this time we met some cool people this time. Well, we didn't really meet them, but it's like we were hanging out with them during the time. It was like super
Yeah.
super fun. But the way it's even like all started, it was just like the most crazy thing ever because it's like me and this girl we had beef, but she didn't know we had beef. But I had beef with her, right? Because it's like first like when we first got there, right? Because it was pretty crowded in the center when we first got there. So it's like I'm just like let's just walk the other way, right? And I was
Mhm.
thinking about just like going in for 30 seconds and coming out. You know what I mean? Because especially because I had like that big jacket on, I'm just like, it's like, and we were just like so fresh and so clean, just like going inside them, just like, I don't want them to taint that. You know what I mean? It's like it's probably all musty, gross, crusty, all that inside there. And it's like we're fresh. We just came from dinner. You know what I mean? It's like we smell good, we look good, well, all that, right? And I'm just like just go inside there. But anyway, so it's like before we even like hopped inside the crowd, right? I had my big old jacket on. One thing I don't like when people like push, right? People push when people don't say excuse me. That's one thing I don't like, right? They would say to one person. And like sometimes they would meet their match. Like you better say excuse me, right? And it was like there was this girl who just came like literally straight in the middle. She had alcohol straight in the middle, didn't say excuse me whatsoever. I'm just like, oh, we have beef, you know what I mean? Because like you say excuse me at all, you know what I mean? And it's like literally walked right in between me and Mina and everything like that. Even poured like a little bit of alcohol on my jacket. I'm just like, ooh,
Um,
when I see you, it's on site. I'm kidding. And then I'm like, that's sorry again. But that's when little like after that, right? I'm just like, oh, I just hate like girls like that. You know what I mean? It's like, just say excuse me. It's like you're walking around between people, just say excuse me. You know what I mean? Because it's like one day you meet your match. Thank God your match is not me. But one day, if I had a lot of alcohol in my system, you meet your match, right? And it was like we were just like, let's just go and whatever, right? We're just having fun dancing and whatnot, right? I don't know what song comes on. I don't know what some song comes on, and we look. It's like a group of guys right next to us, right? Mind you, it's the girl. Okay, before we even get into that, right? So it's
yeah.
like I'm next to the girl still, right? I remember I whispered to me, and I was like, "Oh, that's her, right?" To go pour alcohol on my jacket, right?
I didn't
I'm
realize
just like,
wait.
yeah, because I think you were like facing that way. Because Mina felt my jacket, she felt my sweater. She's like, "Oh, it's wet." And I was like, "Yeah," I'm just like a little bitch that walked around and just like, I didn't like her, right? But anyway, so like we seen her again, right? And I'm just like, this girl, like before, I think it was like Mina was facing that way. Like I was facing you guys basically, right? And so it's like I could see her, and this girl's literally just like bumping everyone. Like I think people who just don't have like any like sort of like stability. You know what I mean? It's like they're just like bumping into everyone, just like not caring at all. Like about the surroundings. You know what I mean? It's like she's always just like dancing, just like bumping and everything like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like it's not even a lit song to be bumping like that. It's like calm down, right? You can also tell she had like oh, a little too much alcohol in her system. You know what I mean? But it's just like little did I know, like like she was with three guys around her, right? Three guys, and I'm just like, okay, whatever, We're just like that, blah, blah, just like still bumping, whatever. But it's like she's just getting annoying. And I can tell she was like annoying Mina and whatnot, right? It was like bothering Mina. Well, maybe not bothering, but it was just like, I was like, like, I'll just, I'll split spots, switch spots with Mina, right? So I can just push her back, right? I'm just like, I'm gonna stand my ground right here and I'm not gonna fucking move, right? And I'm gonna push back, right? So I switched spots with Mina. I'm just like, she's dancing, whatever. It's like I'm dancing back, because it's like I'm just innocently, I'm just dancing like how you are. It's like you can't get mad at me from dancing out like you are. You're the exact same way, you know what I mean? It's like I'm like that, right? And I don't know like how, like the crowd, I guess the crowd changed or whatever to
It,
where
they were in what they were like in front of us, like this way. and then they were to the side, like they came.
Yeah, because I don't know how like they got to that side. Like, I don't know how like the blue shirt guy was next to me and like
Yeah.
she was there, whatever, right? But it's like it was like this point where it's like people that she was with, right? They were right next to us. I'm just like, okay, whatever, I'm still dancing, not really
I know,
paying as like paying
also
attention to them.
see us from our perspective, like we didn't see them really until like they came to the side.
Or it's like I didn't really know that they were like together, right? But it was like, I think like we had a feeling it was like tall guy, like the tall blonde person, the tall guy. We had a feeling like that was her boyfriend or whatever, right? Before like we realized it may not, whatever, right? Based on like the situation, right? But like based on how the night went, right?
That's true.
But anyways, that's when, right? That's when I don't know like how, like there was like a song or whatever, and I think I looked to my
Everybody knew, like I can't remember exactly which one, but like
yeah, I don't know what song it was, but it was like some song came on and it was just like a really nice song, whatever. So I remember I looked to my left or whatever, and it was just like we were like me and the guy in the blue were kind of like making eye contact a little bit, right? We're just like dancing, like kind of like fist pumping in the air, just like just like shoulders tapping, just like dancing, right? And so I guess like after that, like the entire like the rest of them, the other two kind of like follow, right? Because it's like this like a song that everyone knows, right? So we're just dancing and jumping up and down, having fun, right? I remember we were all like, mind you, it's like all three of us, we were all having fun too. And that's when obviously she felt left out. And I was just like, I remember I whispered,
it was like the six and her, like
exactly. I remember I whispered to Mina, I was just like, take that, bitch. It was like she was left out. I'm just like, what you been putting me through with my little jacket? Nothing excuse me. And then it's like bumping up and down like that. Yeah, fucking take that. Feel fucking ignored. You know what I mean? Like that went on for like a couple of minutes and whatnot, right? We're just having fun. I just like rewind like exactly like a flashback to the back. Like a nice flashback, like you were a little scandalous.
But it was funny though, because like I feel like once you two started vibing, it was like it opened the doors for like I guess our group to merge with theirs. But they had like their other friend, I guess we'll just say like tattoos, right?
Yeah, so it's like blue shirt, tattoo boy, then tall guy.
Yeah. And so tattoos is like, I guess he's like they're vibing, and then also it's like we know the lyrics to a lot of the songs, so we're just going
I
in.
was so surprised, like that's the reason why too. Like they knew a lot of the songs.
Yeah,
So
no,
like
it was,
I was looking at their mouth
songs,
move.
I was also like I wasn't expecting them to know
So I was just like, okay.
and so
I'm
they
like,
were
okay.
like, and they were going in as hard as we were. So that's why I think our energies matched like perfectly.
It literally matched
And so
perfectly.
tattoos, right, was like, I guess he starts raising his hand towards me, right? And
I peeped that too. He was feeling the shit out of Anne Marie. I remember I was just like one point, I was just like bouncing up and down. I'm just like, what's this above me?
yeah,
I was like, oh
hand was
shit. Or just like,
second. But
or it's like whenever I would like even look at tattoo guy, his entire eye contact would not shift anywhere but you. It was just like literally laser focused on you. So I'm just like this one point I'm just like, Amory, come get your damn man. I'm just like, come get your damn man.
it was
just like, It's like he wants you have to literally like he wants you.
Yeah, no, like I've never gotten a guy be like, well, no, there are people who's also very explicit like that, but he was just like very much like making me know that he was interested.
It was like his.
So I was just like,
his
we're
actions were saying that.
Like, I was like, we're in a group, it's fine. Like, still trying to play it off like I'm not like fully noticing him. Because I thought Tall Dude was also really cute, right? But like I think Tall Dude had a very complicated situation, as we've like kind of hinted at. So I was like, yeah, that's out of the question because Homegirl is like, mind you, she's still out of the loop. Like she's not in the loop. And
right.
She kind of shifts them around. Like tattoos, I guess, was probably her main connection. He seemed like he was the one trying to infiltrate like this dynamic between her and Tall Dude. And she was definitely telling him like, like, why are y'all doing this type of thing? So then they literally spin around to her during like another
either they're all close friends, like what we like speculated, like they're either all close friends, right? Super close friends. She's dating there's like a very, very evident relationship between tall guy and her, right? And then that's when she also knows in the back of her mind that You were saying blue shirt. You said blue shirt. When I swear, blue shirt was feeling her just as much as well. That's why I was like, for me, it was just like get the number. I'm just like, I'm not really looking for anything outside of this. You know what I mean? I came here to have a good time. I'm not
We
looking
didn't have any conversations, so it's like
exactly. It was
I
just
would be more
dancing.
into them getting a number if he like, even though he showed like, I feel like they showed a lot
Interest.
of interest in us. It didn't give me like it was going past this night. So I was like,
Exactly. And
enjoying
then
my
like if it was getting past that night, then it was for one thing only. And I just told myself too, I'm just like, I don't want that. Like if it's gonna be the next thing, if I'm gonna sex with someone, right, then it's gonna be solely with, like a boyfriend or whatever, right? So it's like I didn't really want anything to like pursue. I don't want to pursue anything out of that. You know what I mean? It's like maybe a friend or whatever, like come like go back to the club, whatever, because we know how to vibe with each other, right? And we can vibe with each other. But anyways, but it's like blue shirt was feeling her too. It's like there's like some point in time where I'm just like you can see him like sneaking a hand on her and whatnot, right? And it's just like my mind just like it's tall guy and her, right? But she knows that at least blue shirt has a secret crush on her.
yeah,
And
she's
then that's what she's playing with it. She's
yeah,
she's dating his feelings. Just like whenever tall guy wasn't there, like she'd go straight to blue shirt or whatever. Right. I think tattoo guy was like out the loop, whatever. You know what I mean? Like he didn't really care, but it was just like,
I think he was strictly her friend. Like I don't think he was like
I
checking
just
for
like a close
anything.
friend. But blue shirt guy for sure has a crush on her.
I
But he can't because his
like we
homie.
don't know them fully, but like I understand where your speculation came from because there was a moment where they were dancing with her and like he blue shirt kind of took it over from tattoos and I was like, oh wow, like like y'all are really trying to make her feel like she's, your main
Mm-hmm.
thing or main focus. But it was interesting because like I don't know what it was, but like they would always like after they kind of made her feel better and be like, we care about you type of thing, right?
Oh, you noticed that too, right?
Would like immediately kind of turn around to us because another hype song would come on. So
Right.
obviously, we're hype, but there was a specific moment where she was like, she needed to get into the mix. Like she was done with us, her being out of the loop, right? And so she just starts twerking on Thelma.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, because it
it
was
kind
just
of
that
threw
point.
me off because we're like, what? Like,
Because it was that point where it's just like, mind you, it's like we had beef, right? I'm just like, well, we had like a one-sided beef, right? I'm just like, let me just end this beef right now and just like, like put the boys to the end. Like, like we're all girls here, girls need to unite. So I was just like, I'll let you dance on me. You know what I mean? So it's just like I'm just like, like, hey, like, twerking, like hyping her up and whatnot, right?
right.
And so it's like, like,
Yeah.
and like once that happens, right, then it's just like it made the guys even more happy. You know what I mean? Because it's like she's no longer
Yeah.
left out of the crowd, right? Or it's like they're no longer like having fun like with us, and it's like she's off like by herself, right? It's like we're mostly like all together, So it's like we were just like dancing like at some point in time, And I don't know like where that led. I think like after that she was done or whatever. That's when we just like kind of like resumed back. I think that's when like they left for a second, right? And that's when like they came back, whatever. And it's like at first like they were just like standing around. I'm just like I don't like this standing around type of thing. So I'm just like still dance, but it's like I'm not going to like I don't like the thing where just like I'm solely with you. You know what I mean? It's like I'm still gonna have I came here to like dance with you guys, right? You and me. Now, so I'm just like I'm gonna continue doing that, and whatever
Yeah.
happens from there happens from there. Like if you guys they approach us back, but it's like I'm not about to like like chase you down or just like like go right back to you because it's like
Right.
I'm not doing that here, right? So I think like they like sort of like venture off a little bit, like not too far from the crowd, like right behind us, whatever. And I think like a song came on again, right? I think a song came on again. It's like I can see like blue shirt keep looking at me. You know what I mean? But it's like we're gonna come over here, come over here. You know what I mean? It's like we're gonna dance with me, dance with me. You know what I mean? It's like we're gonna come back. Like we can get hype again. It's like do that, right? But it's just like I'm not about to come to you either.
Right.
And so I remember, like, I think, like, after that, a song did come on. Another hype song came on, and that's when, like, the gang got back together.
The game
The
got
gang. We got back together. Like, that's like we got back together, right? And this is where things kind of, like, take a little turn or whatever,
Oh, yeah,
right? I
no.
don't know, like, how this happened. I think, like, I think I'm just like it's still tattoo, but I'm just like, okay, I know he wants to dance. I think he's this guy wants some booty time, right? So I'm just like, Emery, get the fuck over here. I'm just like, get over here. I'm just like, get over here, right? So it's like, but I think like, at that point, like, I think that's when you did come over there, right? I remember I was like, I stepped off to the side and I was dancing with Mina, right? Because Emery was twerking. She was shaking that ass. She was shaking that ass on it. She had a silk skirt and didn't know how to act. But they were dancing together, you know, grinding and shit. And so like we're just like, up, you know, like happy memory up and whatnot. You know, it's like you need some support with the knees or whatever. We got the shoulders for you, you know. And so like, you know, that was happening whatnot too, right? And I'll remember, right? I'll remember like how I got taken to like blue shirt guy. I remember like he literally like pulled me over. Like this guy literally pulled me, like it was just like a moment where it's like there's like a split gap between, right? I think Mina was still over here. Mina was still over here. You were like right here, like dancing, right, with tattoo guy, and like right behind you, right? It was just like the girl and then like the tall guy, right? And that's when he was just like he put his hand out. I'm just like, oh, okay, you know, like you know, give me a high five, whatever. No, this guy literally yanks me, and I'm just like, someone hold my jacket. I'm getting loose like Emery.
You know, I literally look up and I'm like, oh, this happened. I just see Thelma like it was so funny because mind you, Thelma's shirt was like buttoned a little bit and all this, right? And I'm guessing it's getting hotter, right? And
Exactly.
I'm you before it was a little peekaboo of like
exactly like the
I just see like okay, she's free. And like literally it was so funny because like it started to be like what is it parallel? Parallel? Yeah. Literally parallel in front of each other. And I was like, whoa, okay.
and you can even like see like they were even so happy for each other, right? Because it's like the best acid that they've ever had in their lives, basically, right? And so it's like they're literally just like giving each other like high fives on top of us, just like you know, like yeah. It's funny because it's like you're like it's I think about like this like we're remembering in their books, right? In their like time of life, right? Like he doesn't even have like a specific moment, like because he recorded too, and he put
Yeah, he was literally throwing up Snapchat videos, and I was like, what is this?
And so we were just dancing and we're just like having fun, you know? We were getting our mojo back.
For real. It was one of those things like I haven't danced on a guy in a long time. Because even when we do go out prior to going out with Mina, like this time, we would dance and stuff, but we weren't like I don't know. It just never got to that point. Like
right. I even told Emery, I was just like I texted her, I was just like, it just like felt like so different. Like mind you, we've been out like plenty of times, like plenty of times, right? And I'm just like telling him, just like, but like literally like last night felt different. You know what I mean? Like it felt like I felt like it was like the right thing, right? Because it's like from one, focusing on myself, like working on myself, right? It's like I've been making lots of changes, lots of improvements within my diet, right? Skincare as well, my overall health, basically like working out, right? So it's like I'm feeling like myself, you know. And like the day before too, I also went thrifting, right? So it's like that was like a good thing too. It's like I found some awesome pieces as well. So it's like these are just like aligning basically, like they're just like all falling into place. So it's like that was kind of like the icing on top. It's like the best way to like close out spring break. You know what I mean?
oh yeah.
In a way, it was like for sure like the best like closure. I'm just like it just feels so nice, you know? Because it's like one because it's like I was telling you it was like because usually it was like before for Halloween, right? I think it was Halloween. It was for your birthday. It was like for a long time ago for your birthday. We were like when we were like first introduced everyone to like Mad Hatter, right? But we're just like we don't fit everyone's like you know everyone's vibe, right? You know. On top of that, like everyone in our friend group, right, is taken, right, too.
Yeah.
So it's like that fear of just like you know like you want them to like have a good time, right? Especially because it's like one was like we worried about the vibe, right? Whether the vibe's gonna like align, right? Because like it's not like they're like your average like other club that you've been to, right? It's like super different, right? So it's like you're worried about that, right? And on top of that, it's like making sure that they have a good time, right? Because like they weren't like with their boyfriends either, right? So it's like, but we didn't want to be like trapped in a way, right? Not in a bad way, but it's like because it's like we're single, you know what I mean? So it's like we still want to like live that single life too, and like dance with other people, other guys, right? And not just feeling like you know we have to be with them, right?
Yeah.
But it's just like you also want your friends to have a good time too. So it's like you want to be with them to have a good time, right? To like show them the way of having a good time, right? Not saying like they can't have a good time on their own, right? But like in a place like that, it can be hard, right? You know, because like it's like we said, it's like a hit or miss, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a hit or miss, right? And you kind of have to like know these songs. They're like pretty throwback songs. If you didn't grow up with it, you just didn't grow up with it, you know? Like you're not gonna hear it now on the radio, basically. Like on like app music, whatever, right? So it's like kind of like group with these songs. If you didn't, you didn't, right? But it's like, like that's why I said like even like for Saturday it was different, right? Because it was like it was just different because it's like like, we were able to like do that basically, like, do what we want to do. It's like still have a good
Yeah,
time, right? But it's like everyone had a good time. Like me had a good time too. You had a good time too, and it's like we
yeah,
were also like twerking and whatnot, right? It's kind of just like a weight lifted off our shoulders, knowing that could be that could be a thing. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
like if we just like stop worrying or just like stop thinking too much, right? It's like have a good time, then it's like it's good.
You
And
know,
it's like on top of that, it's like our bodies and all that. Just like it was just like perfect, just like perfect. Like ass is getting bigger, waist is getting tinier. It was just like,
it kind of like revived a part of me that I feel like has been asleep for a little bit, where I'm like, oh, like I've been, I'll talk to people here and there, like maybe see, but just having that contact, that intimacy the dancing can sometimes give, right?
right,
Especially 'cause, like, I was very shocked. Like, this man was giving the energy right back to me, and I was like, oh, hold up. Like, I thought you were the type that couldn't handle all of this.
right,
He knew exactly what he was doing. And like I kind of like that in a dance partner or someone who, even if you're not a great dancer or anything like that, like you're still a hype person. Like you still like love to like I could tell from their group they really, really liked music and like they
right.
very like good with that. Like they were quick on their toes to talk about the lyrics. And I was like, okay, like, whoa, okay. So it's like, and especially it just remind it like there's like this one TikTok video where it's like you literally like woken up. Like I was like, I feel awake. I'm like, I feel good. And like
Right.
I think with those concerns that we do have, like I'm trying to squash them for my birthday. Like, nope,
I think it
everyone's
is
going
already
to get
squashed.
so messed up. And
I
like
think it's already squashed because it's
I think
like,
it is too, because even when I was talking to Alexandra for when we were going to New York, she was telling me how she really liked it there and she was actually having a really good time and she wished she
Matt
stayed
Hatter.
longer. Yeah. And she was
Oh,
like, yeah, like whenever she said wherever like we're at, like she feels like she's gonna have a good time regardless. So like, and I was like, yeah, I would never take you guys to somewhere crazy, but like even though sometimes they be making me twitch a little bit because I'm like, y'all making me look crazy right now for such a
hmm,
place.
exactly. Like when they started playing, like the very first time we went there, they started playing like the SpongeBob. I think it was like SpongeBob, like some theme songs with like certain shows. I'm just like, what? You didn't give us this vibe the last time. You're making us
Yeah,
look
no,
bad right now. Like get your
and
shit together, Mad Hatter.
there's times where they're playing Spanish music like at different hours of the night. So it's like
Right,
like there will be moments where you will literally miss like the good song and like things like that where it's like it is good. It's really just sometimes about the hour that you're there, like and
right,
how good you want your experience to be. And like for every time I feel like I go out with all of you guys, like it's always for me like I'm gonna leave the night having a great time regardless.
right,
And like it was just different this time too because we've never really been like this aggressively approached there before.
right.
Like, we've been approached there, but
And I
by
don't think
ways of
I've
different
ever.
men, but like danced on somebody like this.
Yeah, I don't exactly. I'm just like I can't remember the last time. Like even when we were out for like Halloween, right? I don't even remember
So,
like
no,
that's how like far back because I know like the last time we went to like Matt had like the last two times, right? Which is like me and you. We also wasn't like fully like that either, too. And like this time was like we barely had like alcohol, like because the alcohol was like fleeting at this point, but it was
you
just like the
know,
vibes were still up, you know?
and like I think also it's like I don't know. I like to get turned, and it just reminded me a little image of myself from like you know who the fuck you are. Like bring that back. And like also going back with our confidence and like our overall perspective, like externally, I feel like we felt ourselves, we looked good. Like even some of the outfits I've worn there, I'm like, like could have stepped it up a little bit. But I feel like the outfit I wore the last time, even though it was basic, I felt very comfortable in myself and I felt like it
I
hit
can
all
remember
the
when we
right
were.
spots on my body. So I was like, I look even better. And like I don't know. It was so funny because like when he was dancing on like behind me, he kept pulling my arm, right? To like kind of like
I kept
closer. And he had a hat on, so I kept touching the hat, right? Because I'm like, I can't physically put my hand all the way like this. But he was I don't know. I personally just like someone who gives me back that energy, but it also gave me like that perspective of like there are a range of men out there and that are accessible. Also going back to like gym bays and stuff, like they are the bays. We love them, but it's also like there's a range of men that we can have access to and like treatment that we can get.
Right.
So it just also reminded me that like you are the prize. Like you have a bunch of options and let yourself, be a little free with that. Like this is our single time. And I feel like as much as I do want to settle down and all that, I'm also kind of like, I'm loving it here a little bit. Like I'm trying to get used to the atmosphere again of what being actively single or participatingly single is like. But I'm excited for the summertime. That's what it gave me after. I was like,
Like, was he like after just like putting in all this work too? I can't remember what I wore the last time. The last time I want to say it was like that all black outfit because we went to K barbecue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like that all black outfit, which was like okay still, but still testing things here and there. For sure, like my outfit that I had on the this time around better than the last time. It was just like that thing where it was like Emery was talking like how like it's like if you can just like see the transition of my shirt. It was just like first it was like sort of like how it was
comfortable we were getting.
exactly. It's like the evolution of how like my shirt basically just like came off. Like I felt pretty naked there because all I had was like my little pink bra on at the end of the day. I'm just like it was just like first it was like like button here and there. And I'm just like it was getting a little too hot, so I have button one at the top, like let my shoulders hang or whatever side it is. I'm just like okay. Now we're getting a little spicy. So it's making me just like I unbutton everything. So I'm just like, and just like it's just social. I'm just like also just like confident in my body too because I've been working out as well. Been working out like my back. I've been working out my stomach. I've been working out too. So it's like I'm gonna let this show as well, And it's that thing where it's just like, sorry, my forehead itches. It's that thing where I'm just like everyone can like see it too. You know what I mean? So it's like it just helps. Like it's like one thing that like you're used to your body, right? And it's just like and whether you have a good nice six-pack or whatever, right? Because it's like obviously in our heads we probably want a nice six-pack, right? We can still be slim or whatever, right? But it's like in our heads, like it's like it can distort our image, right? Besides everyone else, it's like it's different. So it's like I'm able to like be like this, people still find me like beautiful and whatnot. Like not that I say I need it, right? But it is like a confidence booster, like it's more of like a booster, right? It adds to it, right? I'm just like, okay, I'm doing something, It's like I am doing something right now, It's like all my workouts, all my time that I've invested in myself is not for nothing. Now it's like it's not just for me; people can see it too, And so it just like it attracts more people as well. So I'm just like, yeah, I need to get back into this. Like I'm feeling myself a little bit more. I'm feeling myself. Not that I wasn't, but it's just like it wasn't there. Like I'm saying, like that night was just like I'm gonna say magical because it's like a magical night in New York, But it was just like the beginning to more nights like that, or even 10 times better, because it's like it's really like hitting, like it's hitting, right? It's like we're looking good. I can't even speak right now. I'm just like so amazing.
It I would say it definitely like ignited something in us because like I was already feeling myself and I was like, okay, like they say like when you start working out, like it takes, 4 weeks for you to notice and then 8 weeks for other people to notice.
Oh, I heard that.
It was one of those confirmations of like, okay, I'm on the road. I'm getting to my like goals and things like that. And like I just felt so good. And like usually also in those moments where you're sweating and you're talking about sweating and you're like smiling over here.
With my yogurt.
I was like, okay.
That's the first time I've ever like sweat.
Like
because I'm like dancing. Like usually I'm sweating because like even like the wig I had was like it was wet. It was wet itself. I'm just like usually I'm there like sweating because it's like it's just too hot, right? I'm getting down and dirty.
Exactly.
I'm wrapping it up.
We were working hard, as one might say.
Exactly. We were working hard on our knees. My knees were crazy when I got home. I was like,
I started to feel a little ache. I was like, I need a little. I would
that's
just.
why I said. That's why I said let's go to get some water because it's like my knees are wearing out right now. I need a little break.
And like it was funny though, because like I don't know, it kind of also just like it made me like just feel a little peppy because I'm like, okay, flirt, okay. But
Exactly.
I don't
I
know.
can do anything.
But and it's so funny because like it's now officially spring, I think. So it's like the change of weather, even. I'm just like, I'm coming alive. Like I feel myself coming out of hibernation and like literally getting that my groove back, my mojo back. Because
Right.
I think
We're getting our mojo back.
huh?
Not like everyone else can see it too. Like our friends can get their mojo back too if it's lost.
You
Too,
know,
it's like because it's a really nice thing. Cause it's like you just like see life differently. You know what I mean? Or just like appreciate it a little bit more. Or you didn't like realize what you had, so it's gone. I'm just like something just feels like not like it was a little not boring over time or whatever because it's like we're still like we were still in that like working hard on ourself phase. You know what I mean? It's like
I
we
think
haven't
we're
seen
very
progress, but it's like
yeah.
exactly. It's like now it's like we've been working out for a very long time now. It's like it's getting warmer outside, and we're like showing a little bit more skin and whatnot. Right? It's kind of just like a little toned over here and there. It's a little plump over here and there. My face is looking a little clear over here and there. New hairstyles over here too. And so it's just like it's just like it's all falling into places. Like, and it's like consistency for sure. And it's like also just being patient with yourself as well. And like not being too hard on yourself either, because it's like, it's all gonna work out in the end. It's literally all gonna work out in the end if you just be a little patient with yourself. And if you're okay to make mistakes, you're just like,
you
a
know,
little glow.
you know too many words. But it's like you're gonna have seasons where it's like you're not feeling that hot. Like you're not, even though
That's literally how it was.
you're not like, obviously you're still cute, you're still, doing the thing, but it's not like that spark isn't there in you.
Because it's like wintertime is like hibernation, you know what I mean?
It really is.
It's just hibernation. And like my skin acts up the worst during the wintertime, which I realized too. It kind of makes me want to like change things up in life, like destination wise, like where I see myself ending up at. You know what I mean?
Or like
So because of that, like my skin is like obviously like just like find treatment for my skin, whatever. But I'm just like, I try, the West Coast maybe sometime. Where it's always sunny. That's one thing too. I just love the sun as well. Like the sun is just like an underrated thing sometimes. I'm just like the sun brings so much happiness. Like literally, just like you just want to get up and start doing things because it's like it's just so bright outside. You know what I mean? It's like you do not want to be stuck inside all day. So when I open my windows and I open my curtains and I see the sun, it's like I just get happy all immediately, and I just start thinking about like the life that I could have right now. But I can just like appreciate the sun rather than just like being inside working for someone else and appreciating the sun. You know what I mean? Where it's like I can appreciate the sun in my own house, doing what I love to do instead. You know what I mean?
that part.
But it's all we're getting our mojo back, and our mojo is gonna, it's gonna venture off into other aspects in our life. Like mojo back when it comes to like LSAT, right? Mojo back when it comes to just like actually putting up more content, right? It's like it's all gonna trickle into other things right now. But like first we have to like start with us first, because it's like without us, there's really nothing else to focus on anyways. You know what I mean? It's like I'm starting on something that if I don't even have myself together, you know what I mean? Like make it make sense. It's like we've been working on ourselves, right? We're getting our mojo back and we're focusing on ourselves. You said over again, but it's okay. And we're gonna see where everything leads, because it's like it's gonna lead to great things. I know that for sure. And it's just the beginning. Like it was like it's what we needed. It was like the push that we needed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
so
we
it's
need
like New York. We're gonna have so much fun in New York.
that, and it's
in the summer, just the summer all together. That's one thing. So we have yet to go out clubbing in the summer, and how it is. I mean, it's probably gonna be a little bit musty, for sure.
Definitely is
but we have yet to experience that during the summertime. Isn't that crazy? Like even like we made that realization last summer, and we still didn't do it.
I think we were all like working a lot more.
That is true.
Like I think that everyone.
But I wasn't. But like I could have done anything But the weekends though, I was trying the weekends. I didn't start working on the weekends until September.
I don't know what held this back. I know for me it was like distance,
Right.
but, like I've kind of just gotten over it and been like it's really just a choice to get there, you know? And like I've figured out like a way of just doing it and being comfortable with it. But you know, I think especially with the plans that we do have this summer, like
Right.
I
Like I
feel
don't
like
care if I'm taking
there's a
off from
lot
work a lot.
there's a lot
Like
more opportunity. And it was so funny because one of my coworkers was saying something like that too. She was like, I'm trying to enjoy my summer. Like I don't want to be cooped up in here. And I was like, you're right. Like me,
exactly.
me too.
Exactly. Who wants to be cooped up inside? Like when I see the sun, like I no, I don't want to do that. Like mm. Oof,
Mm,
just imagine that on the weekend. Like now I hope on the weekend, no, I pray. Because we ended work at 6 o'clock. I pray we go back to that because I would make no sense for us to like end at 8 o'clock still on a week, like during the summertime. It's the summertime. So but I'm working on myself. I don't even want to be at the job during the summertime. So we're like, I'm only at the job until the end of the summer, basically. So it's like I have something to like fund my, other things we want to do, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
hopefully past summer, I don't want to be at that job anymore. And hopefully I can be a full-time stringer
right. Yeah, no.
if I
I
get
think
back.
definitely like it takes a second. Like I feel like I felt very dormant in like a lot of parts of my a lot of different aspects of life where I'm like, it may it may take a night out to just bring you back to action. Like it's not going to just get you out of, and it may not even necessarily be a funk. It just might be one of those moments where you're just like, oh, like I just don't feel hot about myself right now. Not
Right.
like a neutral place. You're not feeling horrible, you're not feeling bad. Like it's just that
Right.
thought. And then it just takes that springing your step to just like get you feeling good again. But definitely like this warm weather that we're getting, the more sunlight that we're receiving, like literally I felt like I was not felt. I was vitamin D like deficient like a couple years ago, whatever. And like I was like,
It's crazy. Vitamin D deficient is crazy. It changes everything. Like I cannot like the best thing to do, open up when I wake up, I do my bed, right? The first thing I could probably do is just like open up my curtains, right? Because I know it's sunny outside. Curtains open, bedtime, clean my room, whatever, or at least get it perfectly organized. It's like when I come home, if it's still light outside, then it's like, I just feel nice. I can just like plop into bed and I just feel nice, It's like manifest or whatever, It's just like a good feeling. So get some, that's why I say like it's important to step outside for like 60 minutes a day.
it is because like you just you feel whole again. And
Mm-hmm.
I
It
think,
literally helps you get your mojo.
like and I feel like mojo may not necessarily mean like um feeling attractive. It may just feel
No,
like
no, 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 no.
being productive or like, getting that almost like energy for life again,
Right.
energy to do things or energy to like work towards your goals
Your
again.
goals.
Thinking about, oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I have all these like goals I set for myself in the beginning
Right.
of the year.
Exactly. It's kind of just like you're reprogramming yourself basically. It's like you're like a little like a little alien or something, like a little robot, and you just turn the switch. I'm trying to think of ET, but like the little thingy that comes in like the Pixar thing.
Oh, the three in Toy Story, the three little aliens.
No, not that. I'm thinking about like I think it's ET. It's either ET or just
The little,
like introduction of a Pixar movie, basically. And
oh,
then like that little lights, like a little machine that comes on, like a little
oh yeah,
that's the
yeah,
first thing that came to my mind.
yeah.
So it's like, but anyways, it's like like you're just reprogramming yourself basically, right? It's like you're just like turning yourself back on, because it's like, things are just working in your favor. You just feel like everything's just like coming, it's just falling into place at the perfect time.
Right. And like I think definitely with the summer we have like things that we're gonna be like fulfilling and finally like accomplishing and stuff. So it's like that will also alleviate a little bit of that burden of like thought about it. But you know, like I'm excited about my birthday. I'm excited for the girls to just be out and about again together. I'm excited for
New
the
adventures,
yeah, that we're about to
you
make.
know, relieving ourselves from the shackles that we put ourselves through and just like working towards our goals, you know, and getting that done. We're on the money move, you know, we're all about that, making that web, that pun, you know, because it's like we all have a life that we aspire to live, that we dream of living, that we're already living, but just the future selves telling us that, you know, what you desire is already in your future. You just got to wake up and, you know, see it for yourself too and make it happen.
Yeah. And like I think also it's like having a little bit of fun with life. Of course you have a lot of
Basically. Like we're in our freaking 20s. Like what?
definitely slow down a little
But
bit.
then 23 is close to 25, 25 is close to 30. So we're about to be 30 soon.
Ugh, that's terrifying to think about.
I know. It's crazy. We're literally turning 23. It's still like a small number in my head, you know, but like 23 is close to 24, 24 is close to 25, and 25 is basically 30. Just kidding, it's not 30, but it feels like it could be 30. I mean, it's just like I think it's like at that time it's like 25 is just a lot because you're no longer part of your parents' insurance plan anymore.
You know, I feel like also it's like
That's when the adulting really happens because you start paying for shit.
you
But I'm
know,
gonna make it last as long as possible to be on my mom's phone plan. I don't gotta pay anything.
like it's so crazy because obviously like wanting to move out and all of that.
Which is gonna happen too. May not happen the time that we want to, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Once we finish having our fun, you know what I mean? Because like fun happens first.
Yeah, no, fun definitely has to happen first. But like
We
I
owe
think
it to ourselves.
summertime is just like savoring in the moment. I think that that's kind of the theme for me of just like saving the moment, having fun, and like feeling what's that word like that spirit for life again. Because I think
Basically,
so much
I get
happens on the day to day that you don't really have that time to be like, let me savor in the moment. Like you just don't have that moment.
right. Like from and like time is like crazy. Right now, I want to be hard on myself, you know, for like not going back on Twitch and whatnot, you know. But I'm living life, you know. This off to complete different topic, but that's just my
Yeah, I'm like personal statement right
this
now.
is just like me just talking about my personal feelings
But
after the stream. You know, if we did have a Patreon, then maybe you can like figure that. I'm kidding.
well, we'll get to those points also.
Exactly. We'll get to those points, and then we'll be acquired by Spotify.
Exactly. Like I
Spotify's gonna
definitely
acquire
see us
us.
going places with the podcast and like definitely letting our
They're
creative
gonna buy us out for how would you say? They're gonna try to we're gonna sell our rights to our podcast for like 60 million. Or
yeah,
like should we go to Joe Rogan's number 200 million?
damn. Think that much?
He sold his rights to podcast for 20 million. Because I only know that because it's like Drew off, you know what I'm talking about, Drew.
Yeah.
Her podcast was she Spotify acquired the right to her podcast for the comment section. And so then that's when I was just like, oh, let me see what this means. And it's like, oh, I mean, it's like, you know, they bought the rights. It's like, I want to, because like, even like the, you know, like the boys, the Call Her Daddy podcast, like they sold their rights to their podcast to Spotify for 60 million.
Damn.
So
Well, yeah. No, we're gonna get to that number.
yeah,
Like,
let's say
I,
70 million because we're gonna be better on top of that million.
you know, like I'm excited to also like be more creative with the podcast as well as our channel. Like, like I feel like in the summertime we'll definitely have
More things to put
that
out.
more content too, because like as we're doing things, we can document and like get more comfortable with the camera and like documenting more of our lives. And we'll hopefully also be around each other more too to be documenting.
Right. We'll
Or
have more free time right now because it's like we'll both be done with school basically. That's
oh, yeah.
like one thing that's like out of it, right? And then it's like whatever comes afterwards. It's like I know I'm like taking a nice little break afterwards after school, right? Depending on like where things are at in my life at the time right after school. I know it's just be at the school at my work, but it's like, like say if I want to like go back into school, right? It's like, things like that, right? Then maybe whatever. Never know. Highly doubt it, but he never knows. But anyways. Anyways, but for sure school it's like the main thing. And like afterwards it's literally just work at this point. It's just like us working, but it's like, us working and like we're like having fun and whatnot. Like we'll probably get a vlog from us from New York for a nice little 5 days.
No,
You
that's
just gotta remember to pull out the camera because it's like we're just like so used to just like living in the moment, and we just forget, but we'll try to. That's gonna be our biggest first introduction to a vlog is just like that, pulling out the camera and just like the thing is like, anyway, I'll go into that like after this.
okay. But yeah, no, I think the vlogging, maybe like, I don't know, different things. We won't give you all of the details or plans.
All right, you just gotta stay tuned to see
Exactly.
our lives.
I feel like to anyone out there that's feeling like, I don't know, you don't have that spark, you don't have that spring in your step, give it a second, give it
Be
time,
patient.
and you're
It's
going.
it's literally gonna come. It's like
Yeah.
it's literally gonna come. We weren't looking. I mean, we knew we were gonna get it. We were. I mean, we just thought like probably like by May we were gonna get our mojo back. You know what I mean? Because it's like that's where like everything will be aligned. You know what I mean? Because it's like we'll have like going out, all those things, whatever. Right? So it's like it came to us like perfect moment. You know what I mean? Where it's just like things just like made sense. And it's like feelings that we didn't know that we still felt like. It was like we squashed that too. It was like a really good time for all of us too. And it's like it just gave us hope for like the future too. So it's gonna spring up on you at any moment because it's like, you never know how you're gonna feel in a certain situation,
Exactly.
And in that situation we felt enlightened.
Exactly. And like obviously it doesn't have to be like through an experience,
Going out.
yeah, going
It can
out on
literally be anything. You can be on your treadmill doing a 12-3-30. You can be
right. And then
working out. You can be jogging. You can be fishing. You can be satisfying your flesh. You can be doing that, and you never know. You might get a little tingly sensation. Ooh. I remember Emery called me one time. She called me. I forgot what I was doing. I was doing something. She called me, and
oh, I remember that.
and cause this is the day I went thrifting. I went thrifting this day, and you were driving as well, I believe.
Yeah, and I
You went
went.
driving this day. It was literally Saturday. We won't talk about. And I was just like, "Oh, you called me in the middle of me satisfying my flesh." It was like, I'll hang up if you want to finish. I'm just like, no, no, no. I was just kidding. I wasn't really satisfying nothing.
I'd rather you decline my call than pick it up.
I just like, hey, Emery, let me finish masturbating.
Yeah, I feel like I'll decline for us. I'll decline for us.
No, 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 no. I think I was just like shopping. I think I was just like looking on clothes online. But I like saying that, just it throws people off. It was like such a like weird way to like just say masturbating. It's like satisfying your flesh. I got from a TikTok video, that's why. So it's so hilarious to me to say that now. Because like sometimes like masturbating can just be like, oh, it can be a little too much in your face. You know what I mean?
The
So
word
this
is
one's kind of like
yeah.
it's hilarious, it's fun. It's just like ew at the same time too, because it's like you're saying flesh,
Yeah.
So you're saying like yourself, you're saying my flesh.
With that, I think that is over. We'll get into those types of
Sorry, I had to look at
episode.
it.
I said we can get into those types of topics in a different episode. And that's so interesting because I feel like as much as we have talked about different things, we haven't,
It's me with straight teeth. Look. It's me with straight teeth. It had no gap.
Oh wow.
I need some other bitches holes, man. I heard some other holes. Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways.
We're gonna bye for now, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.